Hey Mama, Mitch Blackford here with Fun Rich Mom. Yes, if you were with me last week, I said Fun Rich Life. That's because I had all sorts of chaos going on, which leads us right into today's episode. How we're going to be ditching the busy. Because November for us is kind of like a second Christmas month. We've got four birthdays. We plan the Thanksgiving. We host it here. And this wasn't little stuff. In fact, this year, well, obviously, kids' birthdays are always something that take a little bit of planning. But this year was Andrew's 50th birthday. So I threw a special surprise birthday for him, which, of course, adds on to that extra. And then we launch right into December where we've got, the holiday gift buying, we have the Christmas parties, we have all of the Christmas special time activities that we fit in on top of all of the normal things like let's put some food in the house because we like to eat, or let's wash some laundry because I don't like to stink when I'm around people. So, what do I cut? And you might be feeling this too. What do you cut to get all of that crazy busy out of your life, especially when it feels like everything is equally important and you're the one that's juggling all of the balls? Well, I'm going to share 5 steps that I do to release the stress, ditch that busy, and still get all of the things done that need to get done. So, with that, let's get started. So, I feel like I'm actually just kind of in the middle of this busy season. And like I mentioned, we have a lot going on between the birthday parties. And actually, this month, like I said, it was Andrew's 50th birthday. And I wanted to plan a big surprise party for him. So we're just adding on boop, 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 all the things that need to be taking place. And it was interesting because I was having this conversation at church the other day with a friend, and we were talking about this whole season of busy and feeling like we have too much going on. And that she mentioned that she had stepped back actually from the worship team for a while because she realized that if a friend called her up, she was having to schedule them out a month in advance, and she wanted to be available for them now, the end of this week at the latest. And while we were talking about that, it really hit me. I was like, ooh, you know what? You are so right, because I could relate to that. We have a lot of things that we have going on all of the time. And I also am very protective of my family time. So to me, that's just as scheduled as anything else. But we have this joke because my in laws live right next door to us. And they always say, we don't get to see you unless we put it on the calendar. And it's true. I even have a weekly call scheduled with my mom so that we make sure that we get the call in most of the time. Sometimes I have to reschedule. But that's kind of how things roll sometimes. And so when she said that, I was like, man, you are right. And I'm pretty good about time blocking and getting things down, but sometimes it just gets a little chaotic. So back to this whole thing about Andrew's 50th birthday. Well, first of all, I let it go a little bit long in the whole planning phase, which I'll get to, but we're about a week out and I wanted to make these posters to put all over the house. And I started calling printers and I realized to get posters made, it was going to be like 5, 6 business days. And I had 4 because his birthday is the day before Thanksgiving. So, you know, things kind of tend to shut down. And also, this was very last minute. So I overslept on this particular day that I had wanted to get all these things done. I was going to go drive and see if I could go straight to the places and have them printed there. I had to get school done with the girls. I mean, just pop, 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 all of the things, right? And I have to do these things while he's at work, so he doesn't know. And I was just in the chaos spiral, like freaking out, like, I'm not going to get this done. This party's going to suck. I just blew it. What am I thinking? Blah, 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 blah. My kids are never going to graduate. We go there. And so this leads me right to step number 1, which is change your mindset around the day. So I felt that spiral of chaos just swallowing me up, taking me into that overwhelmed land that so many of us know really well, right? We kind of live there, in fact. And I also recognize that when I'm in that state of mind, things just don't get done. And if they do get done, they don't get done well, right? So usually what happens is I try to start doing something, but then I'm interrupted or I miss something. So then I have to go back, but then I'm here and it's just like bum, 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 bum. And it just all just halfway gets done. Nothing gets finished. So for me to calm myself back down, to get back in my body, to get back in my head, I breathe. Breathing regulates me. And I'm not talking just like regular panic breathing or regular breathing. I'm talking about I need to take some slow, deep, calm breaths. Like, all right, put myself back in my body, back in my head, give my brain some oxygen so that it can think clearly and start getting me through this day where I realize, okay, I can plan this out. I can get things done. And this leads me into step number 2. Let the important things be the important things. So now I'm focused on what actually is the priority of the day. What can I let go of? What doesn't need to happen today that normally I would say I have to do? And so now I'm able to really see, okay, this is what needs to be done. Do I have enough time to do this? Yes, actually, I do. Or if I don't, how can I make it happen between these next couple of days or whatever it is? And so, there are so many things that we can go to. And I notice for me, my way of making the day expand, because there's this law called Parkinson's law, which means anytime that we give ourselves to complete a project, whether it's 5 minutes or 5 hours, we will expand that project to fit the time. Even if it was a 20-minute project, we'll take the 5 hours. We'll somehow make it expand, right? Procrastination, again, I said this, I think, already, because it comes up. So for me, I notice I start vacuuming. I start cleaning the house. Like everything gets super clean. If you ever come over to my house and it's like, bing, shiny clean, you're like, ooh, what are you trying to avoid? I mean, yes and no. I like clean house, but at the same time, you see what I'm saying. So I put in these fillers. I have these time wasters that don't actually move the needle forward on those important things. I know that this is going to be a hard one to hear, but phone scrolling. I know we talk about it all the time. Like, it's so easy. It's just so easy to pick up that phone and be like, oh, I have emails. I need to check them out. Even though I know out of 152 of these emails, only one will be something that I actually want to read. The other 151 will all be spam. But I need to delete those because it's flashing at me that I have these emails. And then next thing I know, I'm on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, let's see if they have that thing I was looking for. Or you're doing something and there's a text. Oh, a text. I must answer this text right now. It dinged at me. How can I leave it? There's all of these distractions that veer us off of those important things. And this is why we don't get the things done, why it feels like we don't have enough time. We do, if we were to just focus in and hone in on what those important things are. So I use tools. I joke about the phone, it being a time suck. And at the same time, it also is a great tool because it has these things called alarms or focus mode. And those are wonderful tools. And I know there are times when I'm like, I should just be able to do this on my own. I can look at the clock or I should be able to focus. I'm an adult. Well, I'm not going to rely on that because history has proven that guess what? My attention wanders and I'm going to want to answer something. So if things need to get done, for example, today, I had school with the girls. I had to film the podcast, right? And I wanted to get all the show notes done, the emails, the announcements. I have a call that I have to take in just a little bit. We have jujitsu that's going to be, that takes 2 hours between all the time. And I got to get some groceries because we're running low on some things. So there's a lot of things that need to be done that are just time consuming things. So, what I do is at the beginning of each day, when my mind is clear, because there have been days when I get in panic mode and I forget to do this and it ends badly, I look at my calendar because I write things down so that I don't forget them. And on the days that I don't look at my calendar, guess what? I've done things like not show up for an interview for a guest on my podcast. That's embarrassing. So, this is why I really like to make sure I'm focusing on the important things, keeping my mindset right, but keep that calendar, use my tools. look at my calendar. I go through the day with the girls. All right, girls, because Andrew's already at work, but I want to set them up so that we are ready for success. This is what our day is going to look like. Boom, 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 boom. At this point in time, I'm going to be working. Even though you're going to see me sitting at the kitchen table, because that's where I work. And I know it's super hard to not come and say, Mommy, look at this, Mommy, look at that. I should probably find a private place to work in my house. But even though you're going to want to do this, I'm going to be focused on work. So if you come up to me during that time, I'm going to politely say, I love you. Now's not the time. I'll look at that later. Okay. Unless it's an emergency. And so now they have the expectation, because guess what? They're kids. What are they going to do? They are going to come and they're going to interrupt me because they forget, they get excited. And now they know when I say, hey, I'm busy right now, can't focus on you, we'll get to you later. They don't feel hurt by it. They're like, oh yeah, she's working. She'll get to me later. And then I make sure that I do follow through on that word. And then the other thing I look at is, how long can I focus for? Like, truly, what is my focus allotment time where I can truly sit down there, hunker down, get something done? Whether it doesn't matter what it is, because we have certain amounts of time that our brains are good for, like, yes, I can do this. And then suddenly we're squirrel. And we got to, oh, like that text came in. You know. So if I know that I'm really good for 30 minutes of time, I'm going to set an alarm. I'm going to give myself that 30 minutes where it's just intense focus. And if I forgot to turn on focus, or emails are coming in where I literally just want to, I just want to see what that email is, I can ignore it, because I've given myself, after 30 minutes, I'm going to get a break. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is. And on that break, I can do anything. Like if I want to get up and do some jumping jacks to get my blood flowing, then I do that. Or I can phone scroll, or I can delete emails, or I can check in with my girl, whatever it is. I've got those 5 to 10 minutes, whatever it is that I scheduled in advance, to take advantage of that. And now when I'm focused, I am way more productive in actually getting the needle moved forward on the thing that I need to get done, versus when I'm in chaos and trying to do everything all at once and worried about not doing anything at all. So set those times, right? Let go of perfection. Number 3, let go of perfection. Back to cleaning my house. Procrastination. That's another way of being a perfectionist, by the way, right? When I was a big time perfectionist, I was a huge procrastinator because I could never get it right. But let go of perfection. Your kids don't have the healthiest meals today, they'll live. Trust me, there was a period of time where they probably lived off of goldfish and cheese anyway. So they will live. Your laundry isn't getting done today all at once. It's okay. You've got some clothes that you haven't worn in a while. You know why? Because it's the 80-20 rule. We usually just wear 20% of our closet 80% of the time. The other 80% of that is just sitting there. Go find something else, wear something new. So this is something that, especially, you may not have suffered with it, but, and I don't say suffer, but I have definitely gone through the perfection mode. Like, I have to do it all, I have to do it perfectly, and I have to do it all in this time frame. And for some reason, we come up with these really unrealistic expectations of what it needs to look like. And so, go back to chaos day of, I got to get these posters made, I got to get the bed made, I got to have the floors vacuumed, the couch needs to has, see my cat right behind me if you're watching, my cat has left tons of fur, we can't sit on the couch, I got to vacuum that, I have to get the school done, I got to blah 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 blah. There's all these things, and it's like, no, you can let go of perfectionism. It doesn't have to be perfect. If the posters, guess what, they didn't get printed on poster paper. I found a place that could print it for like a third of the cost, by the way. Actually, it was only like $2, and they were 11 or 12 by 18s, and they were big enough, they were good enough. It wasn't the perfect big huge glossy poster that I dreamed of, but guess what, it worked. It was a better price, and I was able to do it in my time frame that day. So again, let go of perfectionism and look at, okay, what can it really show up like? That day, didn't do school with the girls. Be honest, be real. I didn't. They got the day off. It was vacation day. Guess what? They loved it. And I got things done, and we got back on track. And then things like, let's go back to being in the house, like the laundry. I bring this one up because I think it's kind of funny, because I used to try to do all of the laundry all in one day. And it would drive me nuts, because if you really look at it, laundry is never done, even when you're done. because when you're done, what you're wearing probably got gross and sweaty because you were probably cleaning. And then there's like cleaning towels, and your kid just ate something. So, oh, look, another load of laundry. I'm not done. It's not done. And I realized for me, I can make it through 2 loads of laundry that I actually will fold and put up. If I get to a third load of laundry, that third load is staying in the laundry in that dryer until I do laundry again or until I'm desperate and I'm like, "Oh, I need some socks." Right? So, I was like, "Why am I trying to get it all done in one day? Why don't I just break it up?" And, we do school 4 or 5 days a week here at home and I can squeeze it in. Why don't I just do like 2 loads of laundry here, 2 loads of laundry there? Guess what? There will always be more laundry waiting for me. So 2 loads is just fine and it gets done. And it actually feels better because it's like, oh, I accomplished something and I did the whole thing instead of having that nagging feeling that I still got that load that I should have folded and it's just sitting there and I have to get to it. And the next time I do laundry, I'm going to have to fold first in order to get it into it's going to be such a bang. So just look at things like that you can break it down and make it more simple, more approachable, something that helps you and lets you focus on the important things and it doesn't take up all that time. And also where it doesn't have to be perfect, right? Vacuuming for me, trust me, on the days when I want to vacuum, I got that Dyson and it has that green light and it shows you every dust speck. I mean, every single one. Like probably nanoparticles you can suddenly see that aren't visible to the naked eye, but with this green light, you see how dirty your floors are. It's disgusting, but I love it. And I just sit there and I'm like, ooh, it's like this addiction. And oh, on the days when it's vacuuming day, oh, I hit that thing hard. But on the other days, I still have 4 animals that shed like crazy. And I have the 4 of us and I have kids that do projects and there's crap all over the floor, right? Because it happens. And I don't want to walk around on it. And if I leave it for a week, it's going to get really bad. So I just kind of hit up the rough spots. I go through, it's like rough spot, 5 minutes, done. We're golden. Who cares about the rest of the house? It's not perfect. Don't care. The places that I need it to be done, it's done. So, whew, what a relief. And again, it just takes things off of my plate that I was so consumed about before and was overwhelming me with all of the other things that I had to do. Such a nice break. Okay, so number 1, change your mindset around the day. Number 2, focus on the important things. Number 3, let go of perfection, which brings me to number 4. I know this is going to feel like a dirty phrase to you, but I'm going to say it anyway. Ask for help. She said it. It's a 4-letter word, bitch. I know, but it's a good one. I know. We're moms. We're Wonder Woman. We're supposed to be able to keep every single ball in the air and not drop a single one, right? No, well, welcome to humanity. We are communal creatures. That's what we are. We were made to be working with each other, not to be this solo island of independence doing everything on our own. We were made to be working together as a team. And so if push comes to shove and it just gets down to it, it is okay to ask for help. All right. And this is where it came to at the culmination of back to Andrew's 50th birthday party. Well, the day before his birthday, I was supposed to have the day without him here. He had made some plans with some friends. So I was like, great. I'm going to do all the food shopping. I'm going to get, all the stuff. I'm going to divvy it out to a couple of friends who are going to help me on the day of because I was going to be gone with Andrew that whole day. So I can't decorate the house with him in front of me. I can't cook the food with him in front of me, all of these things because he was there. And suddenly his plans got canceled. And I'm like, I don't have any food for this party. I haven't been able to get things to people so they know what they're doing. What am I going to do? And so instead of panicking, I realized, okay, I can't pull this off on my own. And this one is important. And I'm going to call for reinforcements. This is my time. I don't use my friends willy-nilly. That's the other thing. When you ask for help, make sure that it's genuine help and that you're not just using and abusing the helpful relationships, right? Those are the ones we want to avoid. But when people are in genuine need of like, hey, I need a hand, I need some help, man, doesn't it feel good when you can step up for them and be like, I got you. And so I called in my reinforcements. I was like, hey, At first, I was like, I might need you to go to the store. And then I remembered, oh, online shopping. Hello, store pickup. All you got to do is store pickup. And so it became this wonderful thing where I had beautiful, amazing people stepping up and helping me so that in the end, we had this really awesome party where Andrew was completely surprised. And my kids even knew about it for 2 weeks. That's pretty impressive. A 6 and 7-year-old were able to keep it a surprise for 2 weeks. So I'm just throwing that out there because I was impressed. But I had to ask for help. I couldn't do it on my own. If I tried to do it on my own, it would have sucked. It wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have been surprised and it wouldn't have been special and magical like it was. And it doesn't have to be a big surprise birthday party that you're asking for help. It could be whatever, something simple, but in that moment, you just truly need the help. It is okay to ask for help. That being said, it takes me to number 5, which is another nasty phrase that we often avoid. It is okay to say no. It is okay to say no. We don't have to say yes to the whole world, which is so weird because, especially as moms, man, we have those babies and we just get used to doing everything for our kids, right? Because they're these helpless little babies. They have to have everything done. And then as they grow up, sometimes we forget that they can do some things. And it takes us a while to remember, oh, hey, you know what? They can put a dish in the dishwasher. But we're just so used to rolling in all of the requests, even if it's not our kids, someone else throws it our way. You know, PTA needs this, church needs that, whatever. And you're like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And you feel like, oh, I'd be a bad person, or they think I didn't like them, or they think I can't handle my life, or like whatever it is. We have all of these stories. If I say no, that's bad. That's bad. So I can't say no. And then you're overextended and overwhelmed, and you can't even give the help that helps because you can't show up. So it is okay to say no. And people will understand. They'll be okay with that, right? And sometimes you even need to say no to yourself for a little while. So, back to our conversation that I had with my friend about the worship team at church. Well, turns out we have a new worship minister coming in. They said we're going to have a meeting. So, if you're interested in being on the worship team, come check it out. Well, I will tell you, every single part of my soul is like, yes, I want to. I mean, I'm the musical theater kid. I'm the karaoke queen. I'm the one that's singing in my car. Even if we're at a stoplight and you're staring at me, I will still sing. That is me. And I want to, and I want to. And it's so possible. I realized right now I am in a busy season because I have another project that I picked up that's timely. So it's something that needs to be done now. And even though I want to do the worship team, it's like, I'm not going to be able to fully give myself to that. I'm going to feel so divided and stressed out that it's not going to be fair to the people around me. It's not going to be fair to me. And so I have to put that off for another season. And who knows, I might even go and, audition, sing for them. And they might be like, oh, we love your enthusiasm. Your enthusiasm would be so much better served in the crowd. Bye. I don't know. Who's to say? But I realized that as much as it sounds like fun and that I want to do that the timing is a no for now. And that doesn't mean it's always going to be a no. It's just a no for now. And that being said, it's okay sometimes if life is busy. Recognize it, understand it, and set some points in time when you can reevaluate. Do I still need to be this busy with whatever I'm doing, or is there something that I can let go of so that I've got a little more free space? There's the saying, if you want something done, give it to a busy person. They say that for a reason, because people in that flow, in that energy, when they are on a roll, but it's the good things, man, there is just momentum happening no matter what they touch. But did you realize that the saying doesn't say, if you want something done, give it to an overwhelmed person? That's because it's a totally different story. Once you've crossed that line and you're overwhelmed and you're not able to pace those days or see beyond the trees, that's not where we want to be. Okay. So it's really sitting back and realizing, where am I? Where am I right now? What are my priorities? What do I need to be accomplishing? Am I okay with this busy? Am I feeling good about it? Am I in flow? And am I able to still have the time with my friends, have the time with my family, have the time for myself? Oh, crazy one, right? Self time. Or am I just feeling like I am being crushed every day by the amount of things that need to happen that I have to feel like I have to be the one doing? And that's when you can go back to these steps and look at, okay, can I change my mindset around it? And maybe focus on the important things. Have I not been focusing on the important things? If I were honest with myself and I looked at my day, how much time am I actually spending in doing the things? How much time am I spending in just stressing? Maybe at the fridge eating, or on my phone, or checking emails that I don't really need to check, right? We all have those little things we go to. If I'm being honest and I look at my day, are those taking up more of my time where I could actually be accomplishing the things that I need to get done? So, do I need to set focus times and break times so I can get that mindless numbing in if I need to, or meditation in, or a walk, or whatever it is that's going to fill me up, but also gives me the time to focus and get the things done? Can I let go of perfection? What is it that I'm holding on to that I'm procrastinating around, but making it have to be perfect at the same time? But does it really need to be? And that's going to help me calm down some of this overwhelm. Am I asking for help if I truly need it? Like, is there someone I can go to? Is this a situation that I need to ask for help for? And have I been saying no when I need to? So those 5 things right there, when I'm actually following them, woo, life is good. And I get into that flow and I love it. And somehow it's like the energy of the world conspires to work with me. But when I am not paying attention to those things and I get into overwhelm, it's like the energy of the world is conspiring to get me. You know what I'm saying? It's just little tweaks and it's little reframes. And that's really all that it's about. And all that these 5 simple steps will help you to ditch the busyness, get into the good busy, get into the good stuff that's really juicy, that's really meaty, that really matters to you. And then you won't end up like the wolf that was chasing his tail because he was trying to tie up the ends. Oh, I didn't say it right. We're going to take 2 on that. This way. And this way, you don't end up like the poor werewolf who was chasing his own tail. We were later told that he was trying to make ends meet. Wah, wah, wah. Okay. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Drop me a comment and let me know which step you feel is like the one that would make the most difference for you. I'd be curious to see where you're at, where most people are hanging out at. And then also, if you're enjoying these conversations that we're having together, I would love it if you subscribe and leave a review because it helps other overwhelmed moms out there find these tips easier. Ay, ay, ay. With that, go out there, make it fun, make it rich, and I will talk to you next week. Bye bye.